Okay, now we've reviewed a few different factors, different ways of using urgency. Now let's look at the big picture. Okay, now insurance is something that not everyone is happy to go through the process of getting an insurance policy. Okay, everybody feels that it's an obligation. Okay, versus a necessity, let's say. So let's say, for example, your cell phone. You make a payment on your cell phone, right?
Right.
But you need your cell phone.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you use your cell phone every day.
Every single day.
And obviously communication, through maybe your personal life or work, for example, right?
Right.
So you're happy, you're okay making, $50, $80 monthly payment to continue that service. Okay, but when we talk about insurance, maybe you haven't had an accident, maybe you haven't gotten pulled over. So the mentality of the majority of the customers today, why do I need to keep paying, insurance when I haven't even used it? Does that make sense?
Right.
So their mentality is technically, insurance is not a priority today.
Right.
Okay, insurance could be, let's say, secondary. Priority will be, let's say, for example, food, gas. Okay, utilities, for example. They don't see any benefit in insurance. So it's very important to transfer this mentality for you to have a more successful sale, you could say, and for everything to be a lot smoother. It's important for that mentality to be transferred from secondary to is necessary. Like, I need it, I want it. Does it make sense?
Right.
And how are we going to accomplish that?
By putting in, maybe inciting some fear in them.
Okay,
Letting
so
them know that it's important to have insurance. Let them know the consequences of not having insurance.
okay, perfect. So let's talk about let's title that educate them. So
Educate 'em.
give them some education on insurance, right?
Right.
Teach them, give them what's it called? Information that that's gonna open up their eyes, and they're gonna look at insurance in a different way. For example, you said fear. So now there's two topics within urgency. Number one is fear motivation, and number two would be benefit motivation. Okay, so let's talk about these two for a second, and let's elaborate on the idea that you just mentioned right now on educating them. Now, how do we make it a priority? Number one, we give them as much information so that they can see that insurance is actually a benefit.
Right.
It's not just a piece of paper. So let's say, for example, maybe the fact that coverages, okay, that it actually offers $35,000 in coverage. You'll be amazed. A lot of customers don't even have an idea what type of coverages, what type of limits the policy offers. So as soon as you tell them, look, it actually offers $35,000. Technically, whatever you're paying a month, $50, $60 a month, $70, $80 for basic liability, you're technically getting a package of $35,000 worth of coverages, of benefits. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the fact that we can't predict, the future. So if they're involved in an accident, have them choose. What would you choose? To be insured and pay $80 a month, and at least have the peace of mind that if something happens, you're not going to be in trouble.
Right.
You're not going to be in a very critical situation, having to put money out of pocket, for example. So you start using fear, like you said. Okay, accidents, tickets. Customers don't think about this, right?
Right.
They're just
living their lives.
exactly. So they're not thinking of what if something happens. So what if we make it tangible, make it realistic, use some real life scenarios within fear, let's say, and put a customer through an actual situation of them getting pulled over or them being involved in an accident. It's gonna switch their mentality. So for example, what I usually do is I ask the customer, look, have you ever had a police officer, follow you for maybe, just for a couple blocks?
Yeah.
And it usually happens. And it usually happens. It happened to me the last couple of days, okay? And I mean, I'm driving, but I have just the thought, hopefully I'm gonna get pulled over. And I'm not even doing anything. I have insurance, I have a license, I'm driving, speed limit, everything. But once again, there's the thought. Hopefully I don't get pulled over, right? Does that make sense?
That says a lot about our police force, huh?
So of course they'll find a way, okay? If you give them a reason, then, you know, you're getting pulled over. So, the fact of the matter is, all of us, whoever drives, okay, is gonna agree with this.
Right.
They're gonna agree with the idea, look, yes, you know what, it happened to me, not often, but it happened once. That's all we need. Some sort of acknowledgement from them that they have been involved in that scenario. And then, once again, we'll attack the situation by telling them, look, what if you would have gotten pulled over? What if you get pulled over today? Okay? This $80 a month, is that worth it? Because that's gonna save you from $700. So
Right.
now we're making it we're adding value, technically. We're adding value. We're using urgency, okay? Obviously, we're using urgency, but we're adding value to an insurance policy. So at the end of the day, okay, customers are gonna look at insurance as something that benefits them instead of an obligation. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And then obviously, number two, the second factor will be benefits, okay? It's an obligation, that's fine. What can we do, right? We need to have it. So why not leave with insurance that said today, you can start discussing all the discounts, all the promotions, and you're leaving with the best deal today. You're leaving with a bargain. Matter of fact, usually what I do when I have a customer that's not completely satisfied with their monthly payment, I tell them, look, the second lowest company, it's $40 more. So that tells me that this is a bargain for you today. If you come back next week, this 80 may not be available, you're gonna be stuck paying $40 more. So what would you wanna do? Now you put them, exactly, you take advantage of it. You put them in a different perspective. Their mentality is gonna go from an obligation, okay? I'm forced, I don't want insurance, I don't need insurance, into more of a positive, more of an informed perspective, okay? Of, I'm actually getting $35,000 worth of coverage.
Right.
I almost got pulled over the other day. It was a good thing I didn't, because if not, I would have been responsible for $700 out of pocket for a ticket. So they start evaluating the situation a lot more. Why? Because now they have information. Now, what do we do when we need to make a decision and we don't know too much about, let's say, the product or the service?
And you hesitate, you question it.
You hesitate, you question it, okay? You're worried, and you're not confident, okay, about your decision, and everything just seems like you're not comfortable, okay? So now, to finalize this topic, by educating the customer, by providing all the information that we can possibly provide, we're giving the customer the opportunity to be informed. We're eliminating those concerns, okay? They're no longer gonna question the fact that, why do I need insurance, okay? They're not gonna be worried about making a decision, and most importantly, they're not gonna look at it as an obligation, they're gonna look at it as something that I need to have. I need to be protected. Does it make sense? It's a priority instead of an obligation. Any questions as far as this? Perfect.